If you're in university, watch this. What you have to do is start now. Don't wait for you to get to your 200 level. Don't wait for you to get to your 400 level. Don't wait for you till you graduate before you start building your dream. There's a quote I saw somewhere said, nobody started any business as an expert. They were just passionate about that business and saw that it grows. So let me give a scenario of two people. I'm going to call the first person A, and the other person B. Imagine both of them got into university at the same time. Mind you, most of them want to start a business or want to develop themselves. Or person A started at the first year he got into school, while person B waited till they graduate from school. Who do you think is likely going to become successful? Obviously person A. So what you have to do at the moment is, if you're in 100 level, on your 200 level or 300 level, just start now. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be passionate about it and see that it grow, and just wait the whole process, and you see that you're going to get better, because nobody started anything in this life as an expert. They were just passionate about the journey and saw that they grew. Everything takes time. Everything takes a process. If you keep on doing something, you keep getting better, 1% better every time. And there's no such thing as perfection. What we have is a destination towards perfection. That's a journey towards perfection. That we are moving gradually into perfection, and we will never ever be perfect. Just start now. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Comparison is the game no I'm winners. And if you watch the game of life, if you try to compare yourself to someone, there's still someone that is still better than that person. So you should just, your comparison should just be with who you were yesterday and who you are trying to be tomorrow. If you are in the university at the moment, they just start with whatever you have. Imagine two people set out to do something. I'll call the first person A, and the other person C. So person C compare himself with the other person and never started anything in his life because he felt like he was not enough. He can't do it because he doesn't have those things the other person who has achieved that thing has. And person A just determined to start ugly, start messy the way he is. Who do you think is going to go far in life? Obviously person A. Now person A didn't start as an expert. He was not perfect, but he kept moving. And there's something about moving, no matter how it is in life. If you keep moving for a year, moving for 2 years, you're going to get better over time. That's natural. It's like a law. If you think that what I'm saying is not actually true, I want you to go to any big channel or big company in this world. I'll use like a YouTube channel. There was a YouTube channel I was watching the other day. They are doing millions of views at the moment. But if you check like 2 years ago, they were nowhere, like their views were below 1,000. But they kept on moving, and 2 years later, 2 years down the line, they became like a pro in the game. But if they never kept moving throughout those hard times when they were getting low views till today, would they be able to get to where they are today? Obviously no. So the moral of the story is, don't compare yourself with anybody. Compare yourself with who you are today. Compare yourself to who you want to be tomorrow. I know it's not really easy. It gets to me as well, but the only thing I try to control is that I can still do it. Even when my emotions are trying to play me, like you're not worth it, I'll tell myself I can still do it. And it only matters at this moment. Just do it. Just know that you're going to make a lot of mistakes, that you will not be perfect, because you wait for the perfect time, you will never get the perfect time. So let me give an example. Imagine two people set out to do something, and person A was still fighting to make the decision of actually doing that thing because they are scared of making a mistake. They don't want to look so stupid after making a mistake. And person B went out there and just took chances on himself, made a lot of mistakes, failed, but was able to become that person who he wants to be. So who do you think is going to be successful? Obviously it's going to be person B, because person B took the bull by the horn, fought through thick and nails, was able to know that he's going to make mistakes. Because one thing about life is that you don't actually know what will actually work and what will not work, but you just have to keep testing the water. You just have to keep trying. You just have to keep fighting. Know that you're going to make mistakes, and nobody's immune to mistakes. Even up to today, till the day I'm no longer in this world, I'm still going to keep making mistakes. Everybody's still going to keep making mistakes, but be the how, not the hem. The story of the hem and the how, a book called Who Moved My Cheese. There were actually like 4 people. We were separated in 2 groups. There was a particular person then who was the how, and what he always thought about was, how will I get away from this situation, not this situation is killing me. So see it from a positive perspective. I know that you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Like when I mean a lot of mistakes, and it's proved that you're actually working or they are becoming a better person if you are making mistakes, because people who make mistakes, they become a different person from who they were yesterday. No matter how, whether it went right or wrong, they still growing. The next thing is, this is something I wish I knew before time: network with people who are way bigger and better than you, because it's going to give you an edge in life. Now let's talk about two people. I like giving stories. So imagine Musa and Chinedu set out to do something. One networked with someone who is already in the field or who is already in another field but is successful already, and Adamu decided to not network with anybody. He was just feeding his ego, knowing that I'm a founder, I'm becoming who I want to be. Who do you think is going to avoid mistakes? Obviously the one who networked with someone who is way bigger than him, because even if that person is in a different field, but there's a pathway in life to success, like in whatever field you are chasing. So let me give an example. Say for example, now if you are doing two different things at the same time, if you are close to someone who is successful, that person will tell you, bro, my guy, you're not supposed to do two things, just focus on one. You can't serve two masters. But if you are doing it and feeding your ego per se, like you want to just be a better person, you know they are building, you are doing something, yes, you are building something, but if you are doing two things at a time and nobody's there to push you and tell you that this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're not supposed to do, this is how you need to focus on this, you keep on beating around the bush and going in circles. So I'm talking out of experience. So if you have the opportunity of having someone who is successful to mentor you, even if it's from a different field, but is there to guide you through that pathway to success. Remember, success has a pathway. Like you must, no matter what field you are in, there's certain rules you have to follow, and they are all the same in every field where you're trying to be successful at. There was this book I read called 3 Feet from Gold. It was a spin-off from Napoleon Hill's, but a modern author wrote that book. So he said something. He said after having he was beating around the book in his career, but when he came to settle down to actually push through life, when he got a mentor, someone that was putting him through life, it still wasn't easy for him to get through that particular place he wants to be, even after the advice he has received and everything. And it felt hard, but what kept him moving was that his mentor always told him that even if you know all these things, it doesn't mean that they are going to come easy for you. It doesn't mean that any door you knock on, they will just open and tell you to come in. It means that you still have to fight.
Alright, so the trade that was on Monday smashed TP and it still went down for that much. So yeah, thank God for a successful trade. So we show up today and see what it gives us. Alright, so this trade is for Tuesday's trade. I just noticed I missed an entry here because my initial entry is actually here, up here, but another zone just played out here and it has already smashed TP, but my sell limit is still here, so we're going to see how it's going to turn out. So I'm going to keep updating you guys. Okay, so I just took an L on this trade today. That was actually skeptical about this zone before now because there was another block above it, and this zone actually been retested before the 30 minutes, but it gave a market structure shift here and I decided to enter. So but yeah, so I had to like cut the trade around here on the profit market, so I took a little L, and because I was skeptical I reduced my risk. So yeah, I'm just waiting for it to get to the next zone for me to see if there's an entry, then I can enter. If there's no entry, then we'll wait till tomorrow. I just took an L on this trade now. This is the third L I'm taking this week on this particular trade, and I actually waited for this trade for a very long time, but it came and it still took me out and I'm fine. So I will not trade tomorrow again. I'll show up on Monday and see what the market will actually give us. The account is actually breaking.